First, navigate to permitamerica.com. Under the Resources section, select Para Portal. Log in using the username and password provided when signing up with Permit America. This would have been sent to the email address included on the new customer application. To create a new order, select the gray New button in the top left of your dashboard. This is step 1, the General Information section. Select the company name from the customer name pick list. If associated with multiple companies, there may be more than one option available. Do the same for the billing office pick list. Again, there may be multiple listings here. Enter a billing number. This will be an identifier that will appear on the invoice. Most companies use their unit number or a PO number. Enter the date of the first permit in the trip date field. Enter any specialized notes or communication in the notes field. An example may be, request weekend travel. Contact me if there are restrictions. Or, adjust my routes as needed. Look at and consider changing the contact name or contact phone numbers field. Para has taken a best guess for the company contact, but contacts can change for each order. Select the permit delivery method. The fastest way to receive the permits is via email. We can also fax. If uncertain how or where to have the permit sent, select TBD and contact our office later to provide the information. Next, enter the origin and destination information for the entire trip. In the Origin section, enter the site name or cross streets in the site intersection field. A good example of this would be GE Wind Farm or Flying J Truck Stop. If starting at a state border, simply enter that information instead. An example of this would be Tennessee-Kentucky line on I-24. Next, enter the address information. This will be the physical address the trip starts at. Make sure to include the street address, city, and state. In most cases, the zip code is optional. The destination section follows the same steps as origin. Please keep in mind that individual state routes will be entered later in the process. After completing the destination section, select the gray Continue button on the bottom right. This is step 2, the agency section. Agencies are the states, counties, or other jurisdictions that will be traveled through. Select the gray Add Agency button on the top left. The agency field will help auto-complete based on what is typed. When the agency needed is visible, click to select. After the agency is selected, pick a permit category from the pick list. To remove an agency added by mistake, select the red Remove button on the right. Once all agencies have been added, select the gray Continue button in the bottom right. This is step 3, the Fleet and Load section. Any previously used trucks, trailers, or loads will appear in the pick list and are searchable. If selecting a previously used fleet or load item, please verify the information is up to date and accurate. Any fleet item can be changed by selecting it from the pick list and selecting the gray Edit button. Be sure to save any changes with the gray Save button in the top right. To add a new truck, trailer, or load, select the gray Add New button in the appropriate section. It is important to fill out the section as completely as possible. Missing information can cause delays in the permit process. Once completed, select Save in the top right. Once fleet and load sections are completed, select the gray Continue button in the bottom right. This is step 4, the overall dimensions section. Individual agencies' dimensions can be changed later in the process. In the width field, enter the overall width of the truck, trailer, and load. In the height field, enter the overall height of the truck, trailer, and load. In the total length field, enter the overall length of the truck, trailer, and load. There are 3 fields for weight. Permitted weight is used for the weight that will be applied for on the permit. Gross weight is optional and can be used to enter the scale ticket weight. Registered weight is the apportioned weight listed on the truck's cab card. The register weight field can be changed for each agency later in the process. Enter the kingpin measurement. This measurement may change depending on an agency's definition and can be updated for each agency later in the process. The standard measurement for kingpin is from the hookup to the center of the last axle. Entering this measurement here may eliminate the need to make changes later in the process. Enter the front and rear overhang. Next, enter the trailer length. This would be the measurement of all trailer components if utilizing more than one component. Enter the total number of axles on the ground for the truck and trailer. As the number is entered, the axle fields will adjust accordingly. Enter the individual axle weights in the axle weight fields. Axle capacities and axle tire ratings are not required for all states. However, failure to enter this information may cause delays in the permit process. Enter the distance between each axle in the axle spacing fields. Keep in mind, there will always be one less field than total number of axles. The measurement will be from the center of the first axle to the center of the second axle, and continuing in that pattern until the last axle is reached. Once the overall dimensions section is complete, select the gray Continue button in the bottom right. A window may appear with a message, Dimensions Updated. Do you wish to use these new dimensions on all permits? It is important to click Yes, otherwise the information entered in Step 4 will not be carried over to the individual agencies. This is Step 5, the Additional Permit Info section. Any agency-specific configurations or changes are made here, including delivery methods, dimensions, and routing. For each agency, verify the effective date field. This may have pre-populated from the General Information section. The effective date entered will be the start date of this agency's permit. For each agency, change the origin and destination fields to be agency-specific. Origin should be where the load is entering the jurisdiction, and destination should be where the load is exiting. For each agency, enter the proposed routes that the load will be traveling on. These may be subject to change depending on agency restrictions. If any agency requires special notes, enter them in the Notes field. If the overall dimensions entered on Step 4 need to be adjusted per agency, click the plus icon next to the word Dimensions on that specific agency. Once the information is expanded, click the blue Edit button. Make any necessary changes in this edit window. Once complete, click the gray Apply button in the bottom left. To discard any changes before hitting apply, select Cancel. To revert the agency back to the information in Step 4, select Use Work Order Dimensions. Once all information has been entered, verify that no red warning text is visible on any of the section titles. If there is a warning text present, please select the back button in the bottom right to navigate to that step and address the message. Progress is not lost by switching between steps. If there are no warning messages, select the Save and Continue button on the bottom right. A prompt to confirm the submission will appear. Select Yes, and Permit America will begin to process the order. If the order is not ready for submission, select No. An order can be saved as a draft and returned to at a different time by selecting the gray Save Draft button in the top right. This concludes the tutorial for creating a new order in Para. Thank you for your interest in learning more about Permit America. If you require further assistance, please reach out to us at 866-573-7648 or by email at permits@permitamerica.com. We look forward to partnering with you for all your permitting needs.